Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Cover Zero podcast, the show where I cover the least in the best way possible. I'm your host, Jason Wells. Today is Halloween, and you might be thinking to yourself, Jason, why aren't you anything? Why aren't you dressed as anything? Come on, get in the spirit. I am currently dressed as a losing, depressed football fan. Dolphins have the Thursday night game out. I'm trying to be supportive of my team, but we know how it goes, and hey, you'll get a blind Thursday night recap, so you'll know how it goes. Yeah, this episode, though, will obviously be the Week 9 preview, blind Thursday night football recap, NFL weekly update as well. Few trades, very sad note also, too. It's back to, feels like a few weeks in a row now where we've had some sad news to talk about, but yeah. This week, again, I'm not expecting much in a couple hours, so I guess let's get right into NFL Weekly Update, starting off right away with this sad news. Former Jets center Nick Mangold has passed away at the age of 41 due to a kidney disease. This hits a little bit differently because Nick Mangold literally pleaded on Twitter 2 weeks ago that he was in desperate need of a kidney, and here we are now. Nick Mangold, by all accounts, was a great person, great human, very funny man too in the interviews and the clips I've seen of him, was a big part of those Jets offenses for, a decade. It's unfortunate it never really worked out with the Jets because they're the Jets, but Nick Mangold was a character. Nick Mangold was a great guy, and yeah, he's been dealing with this kidney disease since 2006, and yeah, takes another guy away from us way too soon. Again, thinking of him and his family, but just a very sad note to start off on anyways. We will keep going though. Aiden Hutchinson signs a 4-year, $180 million contract, 141 of that guaranteed, making him the second highest paid edge player in the league right now, just behind Micah Parsons. Yeah, that's a lot of money for Aiden Hutchinson. That is obviously deserved money for Aiden Hutchinson. The way he's played at the start of last year, where that looked like it was going to be his defensive player of the year to win, and he breaks his leg, and you always have those concerns of are we going to get that same player? Is this injury going to be something different? And no, Aiden Hutchinson's Aiden Hutchinson. He's absolutely terrific. He is definitely in that top 5 edge rushers for me. Definitely at the moment. He is the linchpin of that Lions defense. Absolutely deserves that money when there's guys like Will Anderson, Jared Verse are going to need new deals very soon, and their money will top Micah Parsons, where all of a sudden, Aiden Hutchinson's going to be like the 5th highest paid edge rusher in the league. Yeah, that's pretty good value. Obviously, again, it pays to do these deals early. We're talking about you, Jerry Jones. It is crazy, though. I remember, what feels like almost it wasn't almost a decade ago, but when Pat Mahomes signed his extension, 10-year extension, $500 million, or whatever the hell it was, and people were like, overpaid, what a con, why would you give out that type of money? That's so much money for a quarterback. Nah. Aiden Hutchinson now makes more than Pat Mahomes does per year, AAV-wise anyways. That Patrick Mahomes contract continues to be the best in football by a wide margin. And all you idiots out there said, this is one of the worst contracts. That's dumb. Very dumb. And you know who I'm talking about. You, right there. You. Bad take. We'll keep going, though. Couple of trades here, both by the Patriots. More notable at one anyways. Kyle Duggar goes to the Steelers for a 6-7 pick swap. So essentially, the Steelers got, Kyle Duggar for free. Because those pick swaps, I think, realistically, the Patriots are... Actually, never mind. The Steelers will have the higher picks, but it's going to be the higher picks by 3-4 picks, maybe 2. it's not a big difference maker anyway. So the Steelers basically got Kyle Duggar for free. But it's not really for free because he just signed a big contract extension. I think it was somewhere like 4-year, $50-something million. And I think he's on the second year of that deal now. So, yeah, Steelers are on the hook right now. Kyle Duggar wasn't playing a lot for the Patriots anyways. He does not fit what they want to do in their scheme. Kyle Duggar is still a good player on what he does. That injury that he had did kind of take away some of his versatility, athleticism just a little bit. And the Steelers kind of just get another aging secondary player who is more of a box safety than anything at this point. Again, I really like Kyle Duggar, the player. I just don't think this helps the Steelers' defense whatsoever. I talked about on Wednesday how, the Steelers just continue to add old, aging players on this defense and hope that it just kind of works. I don't think it's going to work. Who's their owner? Not owner. Who's their GM? Omar Khan? It is Omar Khan, because I used to play hockey with a guy named Omar Khan, and I think that's always the joke that I make. Shout out to Omar. I guess shout out to Omar. It is Omar Khan. I'm not... Okay. Either way, we can keep going. Other Patriots trade here. They trade Keon White to the 49ers for a 2026 6th and 7th round pick. Yeah, Keon White was, again, in like the dark years of the Patriots, all 3 years of them. That's a whole other thing. I'm now talking more football with people in my like college classes, and obviously being on the East Coast of Canada, a lot of them are Patriots fans. And I have heard far too much about we deserve, like it's been like, oh, we were bad for so long. Shut the fuck up. That like hurts me. To be like, oh, the Patriots fans who have won 6 Super Bowls since I've been alive. Like, well, I guess for some of them, they've only seen 3 Super Bowls, so, oh, poor you. Horrendous. I will say, though, it is different. So they would have... I guess I'll go off on a bit of a side tangent here, because... So most of them were born in 2007. Does that sound right? Do a math at the top. Most of them were born in 2007. Obviously, age ranges vary, but so they would have seen the first Patriots Super Bowl in 2014, right? When the Patriots beat the Seahawks. So most of them would have been too young and not really following football at any point. That doesn't count. Second Super Bowl would have been... They didn't win back-to-back, so 2016 would have been the Falcons Super Bowl. And, again, still too young. Oh, this kind of changes things. It is a different perspective than what I have of the insufferable Patriots fans that are all around my age. Where having Patriots fans who, at their oldest, were like 12, 13, like just starting high school when the Patriots won their last Super Bowl. I guess I can push back and not be as harsh on the children as I was in my own mind anyways, but either way, hurts me as a Dolphins fan. Let's get back to Keon White. Keon White, during the dark days of the Patriots, was a productive player, one of their more versatile players. He is still on his rookie deal. You could play him at edge, play him on the interior. I thought Keon White was going to be kind of a nice chess piece for them this year, where, they get a guy like Milton Williams who kind of steals Keon White's role, but having a guy like Keon White just would have helped out. I don't know. I thought it would have helped out anyways. Patriots obviously didn't think so, and the 49ers do. The 49ers could obviously use someone like Keon White. Keon White kind of fits in the mold of like an Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner. Like, not really, though. More in the Eric Armstead, because Eric Armstead, I think, definitely lined up more on edge than Debo did. Not Debo Samuel, but... No, I won't make the fat Debo joke. Either way. The Niners definitely need pass rush help. Keon White helps that, and you can play him all over the line. Robert Saleh loves his versatile players, so Niners getting a relatively cheap Keon White who could turn into like a very good player for them. We will see. Trade deadline, by the way, is next Tuesday, so by the time I record, trade deadline will be done. I will cover all of the latest trade news and stuff like that. Ricky has tweeted out, though, that the Patriots are apparently going to acquire a running back by next deadline. That sucks for anyone who has TreVeyon Henderson in fantasy. But I guess we'll see. Fewer lesser signings here to finish it off here. Tyler Lockett signs with the Las Vegas Raiders. I was talking about, maybe he signs with a contender. I don't think any contenders really want him at the moment anyways, because most of them actually have pretty full receiving rooms. I mean, think about the Bills, who I think that they could use wide receiver help, but Tyler Lockett doesn't help fix their problem. Not the Chiefs, not the Ravens, not the Packers, not the Bucks. Technically the Bucks, but the Bucks still have a lot of really good pieces despite... Either way, Tyler Lockett reunites with Pete Carroll, with Geno Smith, and this just seems like a farewell. Tyler Lockett gets to hang out with his friends again, and that might be it for Tyler Lockett at the end of the year. Again, that's all speculation, but yeah, signing with the Raiders doesn't really give a lot of enthusiasm, but I think that Tyler Lockett will actually get a decent role. Obviously, Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers have both been hurt this year, and the rookies Jack Besh and Deontay Thornton haven't really stepped up. Trey Palmer? It's not Trey Palmer. Whatever. The other Raiders wide receiver who who I'm talking about, who had like a huge week in fantasy in like week 3 or whatever. Bugs me, I'm not going to remember his name. Either way, he's still there, but Tyler Lockett will help out a little bit. The Raiders do stink though, so it doesn't really matter. The Broncos signed 41-year-old tight end Mercedes Lewis, Hall of Very Good member, to their practice squad. If he is brought up to their roster at any point, he will become the oldest player at his position to be on an NFL roster. Maybe it might be a skill position. Schefter has that tweet. I'm not going to bother to look it up. Either way, Hall of Very Good member Mercedes Lewis back in the league again. 41 years old is absolutely crazy, but like good for him. Get that paycheck. And finally, former Saints, Ravens, Dolphins safety Marcus Williams has signed with the Chargers. I forget who broke that news, but I found it very funny that they only listed the Saints and Ravens, where Marcus Williams was a really good player for both of those teams. The Dolphins, he was not. The Dolphins, was that Marcus May? Am I conflating? I thought it was Marcus Williams. It might have been Marcus May, though, and now I feel bad of... Did we have both? I think we might have had both. Let me take a look at this here, because I don't want to be wrong. Oh, I am wrong. Never mind. Well, disregard what I said. Either way, Marcus Williams on the Chargers. Since they traded Alohi Gilman, obviously, they've needed some backup secondary help. Odafe Owa, I don't think has really helped out their pass rush as much, and that secondary has kind of not suffered a little bit, but again, I don't trust that defense. Don't know how much Marcus Williams will help, but again, a vet presence back there who knows what they're doing, at least knows the Jesse Minter, Michigan, Mike McDonald system that they run. So, bit of an easy transition, and that is your blind Thursday night football recap. That is not the blind Thursday night football recap. Goddamn, I'm tired apparently. That is your NFL weekly update. Now we can get into the blind Thursday night football recap. Ravens at Dolphins went about exactly how you could expect. Lamar Jackson's first game back, and yeah, this Ravens team needed a real kick in the ass. They needed to show to be like, we're here, we're making the playoffs, get ready for us, and yeah, that's exactly what happened. I'd like to sit here and say that, the Dolphins defense, they stopped Bijan, they could do the same to Derrick Henry. Absolutely not. Derrick Henry went off for 100 yards, 2 TDs. Lamar added another TD on the ground as well. Yeah, the Ravens offense could not be stopped, like it usually is when Lamar Jackson is at quarterback. Our defense, again, we looked pretty good last week, but don't count on Rasul Douglas hanging with Zay Flowers or our defense to really cover anyone out of the backfield. It is what it is. Dolphins offense could kind of move the ball, but again, this was a... Ravens defense needed to show something. Showed something a little against the Bears this week, and yeah, showed about the same. Devon Achane, continue to do your thing. You are the best. Don't ever leave us, please. But yeah, the Ravens do win this one easy. Final score, Ravens 28, Dolphins 17. That is your blind Thursday night football recap. Let's get into the rest of the games here, starting off with the 2 o'clock games. Broncos at Texans. Texans 1.5. Total set of 40.5. Total set of 40.5 for a very good reason. These are two of the best defenses in the league. I think when I was going through my top 5 offenses, defenses, whatever, that these were the two teams that I picked out to be like the 1 and 2 best defenses in the league, and they are. No Pat Surtain for the Broncos, and that will obviously hurt them. I am trying to look up if Nico Collins will be good to go. I do not see him on the blah blah blah. I do not see him on the injury report, so that is obviously huge news for the Texans. This is a tough game to call, though, because I think that both offenses will struggle. But at the end of the day, I trust CJ Stroud more than Bo Nix. That might be what it comes down to at the end of this game. This feels like an avoid game. This feels like it could be an under game because, yeah, I like what Bo Nix does sometimes, and other times I'm like, oh, he is the worst. And this Texans defense should be able to get after him, cover his reads. Again, this secondary is one of the best in the league, and it also has one of the best pass rushes in the league. Really good defense. What a shock. It's going to be tough, though. And again, this this Texans offensive line has been getting better as the season has progresses, but it's still Swiss cheese for the most part. And yeah, the Broncos pass rush is also one of the best in the league. Nick Bonito, one of the front runners for Defensive Player of the Year right now. Jonathan Cooper kind of having a breakout season. Zach Allen's still there in the middle. Like, they got their dudes as well. Will be a close game. Don't know where it's going to go. Will probably be low scoring. I'd be shocked if this game, again, 40 is still a low total, but I think if this game got over 45, I would be shocked. 49ers at Giants. Niners minus 2.5. Total set of 48.5. The battle of like the two injured teams, where obviously the Niners are much, much more hurt, but no Neighbors, no Cam Scadaboo. That obviously hurts the Giants offense quite a bit. They will have to rely on Tyrone Tracy for the most part, I believe, and also Devin Singletary. But yeah, they're also going against that. That hurt Niners offense. No Fred Warner in the middle. That has been a huge loss for the Niners defense. Obviously, losing Nick Bosa hurts a lot as well, too, but Fred Warner's the best player on the defense. Don't confuse that. It's really hard to say, honestly. Like, the Giants being at home in this one kind of makes me him and haw. I don't know. I like, people will point to, the coaching advantage. Kyle Shanahan versus Brian Daboll. I still like Brian Daboll. And that just might be a me problem, but I do still like Brian Daboll. I don't think that he has really been the issue for this team. I think the personnel has been an issue for this team, and it is what it is. I really don't know. Because again, like, that Giants defensive line is really good. They should be able to get after Mac Jones fairly easily. Again, it's a little tougher competition than they've had in like previous matchups, but I don't know. This is like a tough one for me to say. I think over 48.5 maybe. Maybe under. I don't know. I honestly can't get a read on this game because there's not a lot of actual starters playing for either teams. Yeah, I have to lean on the Niners. I think that more consistent QB play, they'll have the better run game. Robert Saleh will still have that defense playing hard anyways, and trying to stop Wan'Dale Robinson and Tyrone Tracy is a lot easier than trying to stop Cam Scadaboo and Malik Neighbors. So, yeah, I definitely lean the Niners money line anyways. Don't know about that spread either way. Colts at Steelers. Colts minus 3.5. Total set at 50.5. The Steelers need a huge bounce back game. Like I talked about, I think it was literally would have been last week, that like Mike Tomlin as a home underdog, it was like 21-7-3 against the spread. Now it's 21-8-3 against the spread. And the Colts have been one of the best teams in football. They have looked like a juggernaut, no signs of slowing down. The offense has been humming every single time. And yeah, the defense has been, again, good enough anyways. And I think when they get Charvarius Ward, they'll kind of take a step back up. But they're going against like a pretty average Steelers offense and a pretty average Steelers defense. I don't see a way where the Steelers come away in this one. However, Mike Tomlin home underdog, it's just that track record screams at me. But it might be time to flip the odds, where I go with the Colts minus 3.5, because the Colts have just been unstoppable. Truly. So, maybe Colts minus 3.5. I don't know. We'll see. Panthers at Packers. Packers minus 13.5. Total set at 44.5. Is Bryce Young coming back? That is definitely something that I needed to look up. He's listed as their starter. Andy Dalton's also hurt. Yeah. He is back. That is big news. However, it does not matter. The Packers are going to absolutely kill them. Sorry. It is what it is. The Panthers' offensive line continues to get hurt. The Packers' defense is really good. The Packers' offense is really good. I don't think I have to spend a lot of time on this. 13.5. Again, a lot of points. I would just avoid that spread because it's a big spread. Big spreads are hard to cover. However, Packers win this easy. I don't want... That's the other thing, too. I've been trying, so one of my instructors, one of my woodsman coaches, Will, is a big Packers fan, and I have wanted to wear... My plan this year is like, I got a lot of NFL apparel, a lot of different teams, not just Dolphins. I'm sure that you've noticed on video anyways, where I'm like, okay, I want to wear that team's apparel whenever, like, the Packers lose. Unfortunately for me, the Packers haven't lost a lot. They lost to the Browns. I got to wear my flag football shirt. I don't think he noticed. I was close to wearing my Larry Fitzgerald jersey. That was disappointing. I was close a few other times, too. Didn't get to do anything about that fucking overtime game, but I hope it's not the Panthers, because I have, like, a Temu DH Gates special Carolina Panthers Julius Peppers jersey, and it is the wrong color blue, and I don't want to wear that for sure. Either way, Packers are going to win this one handily. Vikings at Lions. Lions minus 9.5. Total set of 48.5. J.J. McCarthy coming back. Unfortunate for him, it's against the Lions. Aiden Hutchinson going to kill him. Aleem McNeil going to kill him. I don't know. Seems pretty cut and dry. I don't trust J.J. McCarthy. I don't trust this this Vikings defense. And every time the Vikings play the Lions absolutely shred the Brian Flores defenses. Maybe it's a Ben Johnson thing. I think it's just a Lions personnel thing, because how do you match up with all of the weapons that they have? They're like the Colts in that sense, where they just have a guy who can play every single type of role for them on that offense. Yeah, J.J. McCarthy needs to play stellar. Like, this needs to be like the Vikings offense is matching the Lions offense, like, almost every drive, but we'll have to see. Again, I don't have a lot of faith in J.J. McCarthy, but prove me wrong, I guess. Chargers at Titans. Chargers minus 9.5. Total set of 43.5. Yeah, Chargers minus 9.5. Easy. The Titans are terrible. I saw a stat that was pretty incriminating. It was Cam Ward, it was Josh Rosen, through their first 10 games, put out, like, matching up the stats. Josh Rosen had better stats through his first 10 games. Josh Rosen was a really bad quarterback, and Josh Rosen never had the clear talent that Cam Ward possesses. That's very bad company to be in, though. And I'm sure that you could cherry pick some other really good quarterback. I know the one that people like to use is Peyton Manning or Josh Allen, but I think those guys had the yards anyways. Cam Ward doesn't give that rushing ability really to the Titans offense. I don't know. I'm not out on Cam Ward, I'll say that. Again, I didn't have him as a high. He was not in my top 30 players in this draft. I think he might have been in my top 40. I didn't see it in college. I didn't see what his appeal was, other than the clear arm talent. That is definitely there, but he has to bring some kind of element right now, because, again, the Titans just have no one on offense to really throw the ball to. As much as I don't like the Chargers defense is still way better than the Titans offense, like by a mile. Jesse Minter will have the offense in hell, I'm sure, despite the personnel. But again, the Titans personnel is dog water doo-doo. Chargers win by a lot. Keep going. Falcons at Patriots. Patriots minus 5.5. Total set of 44.5. The Patriots should win this one. Seems pretty easy. Seems pretty cut and dry. Let me look. Is Drake London playing? Is Michael Penix playing? Yep. Okay. They're both on the injury report still. Did they practice? He was limited both days. Drake London was also limited. To me, that means that they're both going to play if they're practicing. This is tough. Because, again, obviously I think the Patriots are going to win. Vibes are high. They're at home. They've just been playing like the better team. And the Falcons just got their shit kicked by the Dolphins. But teams who get their teeth kicked in typically like to play better the following week. Where, again, I don't know if the Patriots are going to cover the spread necessarily. I do think the Patriots are going to win. So maybe this is a Falcons plus 5.5 game. I don't know. This feels like a game that Bijan Robinson, after having, again, I've talked about Bijan Robinson being a bipolar running back, where, he had 28 rushing yards last week. Okay, Bijan Robinson's about to have like 120 yards from scrimmage this week. This feels like a big Bijan game potentially. Maybe that's the bet. But Patriots should win. Still thinking about the Falcons, though. I don't know why. I told you last Wednesday, Falcons are frauds. They are frauds. Maybe they cover the spread. Patriots should win this one, though. But Falcons covering the spread, I kind of like. Next game up. Bears at Bengals. Bears minus 2.5. Total set of 51.5. That feels disrespectful in a sense. I think that Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams are going to have like a chef's kiss performance. Like, look at that. As I talked about, Cam Ward not looking great through the first 10 games. Caleb Williams' stats through 8 games last year and 8 games this year, basically identical. But the eye test is telling me that Caleb Williams has been playing much better football. This is a game to show it, Caleb. Have that 250 yards through the air. Add another 50 rushing yards on the ground. Have a 2 TD, 3 TD performance. I don't know. Got to show something here, though, because everyone has shown something against this Bengals defense this year. It's just the Bears' turn at this point. Get that run game going again. Get Odunze, get Moore, get Loveland maybe involved in the passing game. This is really a Bears get-right game, get back on track. Again, the NFC playoffs is going to be a juggernaut. This is a game that the Bears absolutely need to win, and I think that they do win. Joe Flacco for the Bengals popped up on the injury report this week. Should be fine anyways, but Joe Flacco's been doing a lot of rushing for them. Joe Flacco should not be running the ball whatsoever, even though he is getting positive yards. But him being a little hobbled, not great. Can the Bears cover Jamar Chase and T. Higgins? It's going to be tough, but sorry. I do believe in them. I do believe that the Bears can slow them down, because no one can stop them, but they can slow them down enough to cover minus 2.5 anyways, so we'll keep going. Jags at Raiders. Jags minus 2.5, total set of 44.5. Disrespectful to the Jags. The Jags are still one of the better teams in the league right now, which seems weird for me to say, I know. But hey, off a bye week, I hope that these things that have been like plaguing their offense, the drops, the miscues, just in general, that those just get lowered maybe to a league average amount instead of like dead last in the league for that stuff. Their defense is good. I do really like their defense. Their pass rush is good. The Raiders are terrible across the board. Geno Smith is bad. The offensive line is terrible. Is Brock Bowers back? Is that a thing that I might have missed with everything? I do have Brock Bowers in fantasy. Maybe I should pay more attention. Brock Bowers is off the injury report. Big first fantasy news. I don't even know if I start him this week, though, because they got a guy named Devin Lloyd. They got a guy named Foye Oluokun. I think that the plan is just to cover Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers is also off the... This doesn't change anything, though. Maybe the Raiders score a little bit more points than I think that they do, but regardless, Geno Smith, bad. Raiders offensive line, terrible. Jags have Josh Hines-Allen, Trayvon Walker, Eric Armstead. They got dudes to get after Geno Smith. They have enough guys to cover Bowers, to cover Jacoby Myers, to cover Tyler Lockett. Ooh. I still do think the Jags are like a top 12 team in the league right now. The Raiders are 31st in my power rankings, I believe. Actually, the Raiders, no, Titans are dead last. Raiders are at 31. Jags win this one easy. -2.5, just, again, gotta take that. Gotta take that. I don't care about both teams. Yeah. I guess the score is counting drops now, where here's Jacoby Myers on the season, 29 catches, 43 targets, 1 drop. Here's Brian Thomas Jr., 27 catches, 55 targets, 9 drops on the season. 9 drops halfway through the season is absolutely terrible, and he's only played 7 games. Either way, I do think the Jags win this one. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Saints at Rams. Rams -14.5. Total set of 43.5. Tyler Shuck makes his debut. The Saints decide to go to the young rookie quarterback in order to get a spark for this offense. Obviously being a little facetious there, because Spencer Rattler is younger than Tyler Shuck. What a shock. Spencer Rattler is also just better than Tyler Shuck, but I think that Kellen Moore and this Saints offense and the Saints brass had a plan where if Spencer Rattler isn't lighting the world on fire and they're not like winning games halfway through the season, Tyler Shuck's going in. And that's kind of exactly what happened. They pulled Spencer Rattler. Tyler Shuck looked worse than Spencer Rattler, but hey, well, now we pulled Spencer Rattler. Tyler Shuck, fucking, let's see what you got. It's going to be absolutely nothing, absolutely abysmal. I don't think he adds anything at all to the Saints offense. Like, again, we'll see what it looks like. He should be the most pro-ready quarterback coming in at 26 years old, but I have a lot of doubts. Obviously, like, I hope that he does well, just because you never want to root against a person, even though I root against quite a lot of people, honestly, if you hear me talk. Anyways, he's got a very tough opponent. On the road, at home, against the Rams, against Jared Verse, Brady Fisk, Byron Young. Oh, I missed a trade. Because that's something I usually do. I usually go through, like, Ari Mayrob's feed, and the Rams traded for Roger McCreary from the Titans. So the Jets have now traded away, or the Titans have now traded away Jarvis Brownlee and Roger McCreary, who I don't know why they traded Brownlee away. McCreary makes more sense. I think he's on the last year of his rookie deal. He's not a great player, obviously. He's good enough, though, and yeah, this Rams secondary just needs help. Adding a guy like McCreary, who could kind of be boom or bust for you. Solid, I will add anyways, but yeah, the Rams are going to torch them. The Saints defense is also just not good. Puka Nacua back from injury, off a bye. Matt Stafford off a bye, feeling a little bit better about just everything. Rams whoop them. Chiefs at Bills. Chiefs -2.5. Total set at 52.5. Bills as a home dog? I don't know. However, the Chiefs are their boogeyman, and yeah, I think that the Chiefs will continue to be their boogeyman here. I talked about it on Wednesday's show where I think the Bills are one of the most overrated teams in the league right now. Yes, I like their offense. Yes, Josh Allen is an MVP. He's electric. He's Superman sometimes. James Cook is one of the best running backs in the league. Their weapons, however, other than Khalil Shakir, who's good, I don't really like anybody else. Again, they're all solid, but if your best like receiving weapons, Khalil Shakir, I've got some issues with that. Their defense has not been good this year. No Ed Oliver now for the rest of the year. Hey, maybe rookie Maxwell Harrison. Let's see how he matches up against Rashee Rice or Xavier Worthy. I think he's going to have some issues. Just my opinion anyways. Their secondary has been good. The defense has not been good. The pass rush hasn't been good. And this Chiefs offense is humming. The Chiefs defense has also been pretty good. I don't think the Bills are going to have... I think the Bills are going to get whooped in this one too. This is definitely... I like the Chiefs -2.5. Yeah, I think the Chiefs kind of win this one easy. Sorry, Bills fans. And finally, because that wasn't the Sunday night game for some reason... Seahawks at Commanders. Seahawks -2.5. Total set at 47.5. Is Jaden Daniels playing? Jaden Daniels does look like he is going to play. Yeah, he's not on the injury report. Good. However, maybe he should be on the injury report because, he's going against Byron Murphy, Leonard Williams, DeMarcus Lawrence, Boye Mafe. Those guys are going to get after him. And even if this Commanders line is improved, those guys get after their quarterbacks. Just kind of got to cover Terry McLaurin. The run game has not really been solid. See, this is another thing. Again, when the Commanders were playing the Chiefs on Monday, whatever, in the primetime game, whatever, I forget now. It's so far away at this point. Duh, I'm so old. I don't know why I made that joke. Regardless, it got brought up on the broadcast anyways that, the Commanders have this, like, top 5 rushing attack in the league, and I'm looking back and I'm like, no, they don't. But technically they do, because, they've had, like, 3 games this year where they've actually absolutely popped off as a team in, like, rushing yards. The rushing attack is not good. Like, Bill Krosky-Merritt, their number one back, is not having a particularly good season. He had one really, really good game, and then, like, Chris Rodriguez had a big game, and again, it's not... I would not say this Commanders team has a very good rushing attack, even though the numbers says that they do. I don't know. The Seahawks also win this one by a lot. What did I say the spread was? -2.5? Yeah, I'm also going to take the Seahawks -2.5. That is the Week 9 preview. I got to get some water in me, because obviously you can tell my throat's a little dry at the moment. Got my stitches out today. That was fun. Thankfully, didn't take too long. Gonna have a nice little scar on my knee and a nice little story to talk about it. That was always something that I did remember as a kid. My dad has a lot of scars from, whether it be my Uncle Steve breaking pool cues over his head or throwing a rock and having it hit off multiple trees and somehow hit my dad in the back of the head. Got pushed through a glass door when he was a kid. Again, lots of stories, lots of scars, lots of bumps and bruises, but I always liked hearing him talk about that because, again, they are fun. Not in the moment fun stories, but looking back, fun stories of just kind of having that thing and you can point back to that moment and be like, that's what that's from. I do enjoy that I have this scar on my knee, I guess, for that same kind of reason, where I will be able to point out, it's like, and I'm wearing shorts, and my nephew Wade, who just turned 1, happy birthday Wade, can look at my knee and be like, what did you do? Like, what's that? And I'll be like, and that's the time where I took a saw to my knee in my lumberjack competition. It's kind of cool. I don't know. I guess I'll end it there, though. That's a nice little story to end it on. I think as always, though, if you have liked this, please like, share, retweet, subscribe, tell your friends, and until next time, peace. Go Dolphins!